welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, December 1st, 2016. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The aftermath of a trough system which affected this country over a 3-day period since Monday, November 28th, has left many families in the North Windward area without homes and basic necessities. There were also numerous land slippages and destruction of roads and bridges, but as we hear in this report from SVG-TV's Nikita Tony, amidst the destruction, persons are still thankful for their lives.
Residents of the North Windward community, the night of Monday, November 28, 2016 is one they will never forget. Right here at the Sandy Bay Government School, approximately 30 families are housed after being affected by the passage of a trough system. Noting that he has never seen such devastation and destruction throughout his experiences of natural disasters, shelter manager at the Sandy Bay Government School, Grady King, said that the shelter now houses some 30 families, some of whom have lost all their belongings.
Most of them were female, and there were some single persons that came in. So for that day, we had over 148 persons. Since then, it had dropped to about 118, with about 30 families. That is what we have here at this moment. They either have their home their business completely damaged, or they were flooded out. So they came with nothing to the shelter, and well, we had to prepare for them.
Principal of the Sandy Bay Government School and also one of the persons affected by the passage of the trough system, Hepsi Roberts, said all residents stationed at the shelter amidst their loss are still holding on to hope that better will come as they still have their lives.
Sandy Bay is smashed up, and at the school here we are sheltering at least 30 families, okay, and they're here, and whatever little we have, we make sure it is distributed equally so everybody can be comfortable. Even those in the shelter here who need the food and clothing, we have a lot outside still who need it a lot too. Because of their houses, the rain fell really heavy. That is what caused the problem.
A number of Sandy Bay residents admitted that while they are concerned of what is to come, especially as it relates to the reopening of schools and road access, they must give thanks to the Lord for sparing their lives and that of their loved ones.
We have my disabled daughter here again. I had to run out in the rain with her trying to cross the gutter where we live in to go over to another neighbor house. Well, 2013 wasn't like this. This is worse than 2013. My daughter have exam right now. She's attending girls' high school, and she's frustrated. She's panicking.
And all the sun came down, the water reaching the rooms. So we decided, well, we are not staying there the night because we don't know how the night will bring forth again. So we came to the shelter. I'd never been to a shelter before, but I was just scared of all the sand and the muck, and just say for safety, let me just come across.
Here is where I was running my business, and I lost everything. Water took place, come around the house, sung the whole building, and just took it away.
Wife and children was inside sleeping. So I just have to run in and shake them out of their sleep and gobble them, crash through the water. Wife was saying, I have to go and look for the money and some clothes. Me say, no, forget about everything. Save your life. People was willing to help you, even though it was dark. They used their phone light and whatsoever light.
It depends on full of water. You got to hack it in there soon. I break down the door, right? And the pig are coming, I go in myself and I push them out. But it was really dangerous to watch.
Most everything in the shop. And in the last bed, TV, and in the fridge again. Table, all things get mashed up. Fridge, the freeze, everything.
The house collapsed, so I tell him jump through the window fast, so we cannot get, we not save nothing at all, I lose every single thing. I gotta have life and strength, so that is the most important thing. So.
I didn't expect it to reach grass this way. But I realized it will reach grass when a car was under the shed park and it can move, and I experienced the water.
Enter the house. My son said, Mommy, you cannot risk your life for a slippers. And by the time he says so, the front piece that gone complete. And I just watch it. I did not save nothing in my house.
In the Grand Stable Mount Young area, Sylvana Ince also pointed out that while she and her husband experienced flash floods in earlier years, nothing prepared her for what she encountered in the wee hours of Tuesday morning.
Not talking to myself, I'm not staying here now because I don't know what danger this can cause. On the 10 past 6 in the morning, this is what we come. The water was, well, as you can see it, look, normal, but when we come down it was much more, almost overriding the bridge still, and the water kept coming up here. So through it all, he kept me here for a purpose.
Right behind me is where many would describe as the heart of the disaster. Families are still trying to pull what they can, and for many, nothing is there. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
There is a lot of corrective work to be done at the Lady Jane Bridge to bring a level of normalcy and restore proper access to communities north of the island. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves on his visit to the affected areas north of the island today. PM Gonsalves noted that there are some funds which the government can access for the use of repairs, but noted that it would be insufficient given the scope of the damage. The PM, however, stated that the government will do its utmost to ensure restoration of the Lady Jane Bridge, which is critical to accessing the northern communities.
We have a lot of corrective work to do here by Lady Jane. It was affected a few years ago, and we have monies either under the CDB National Disaster Management Project, the Capital One, or under the World Bank project to strengthen resilience against vulnerability. But that money which we have for that particular project is not going to be anywhere near sufficient now, because the damage has increased here at Lady Jane since the occasion before. But we will walk back the numbers, and we have to fix it. It's as simple as that. We just have to fix it.
Dr. Gonsalves said the work to be carried out must ensure the structural integrity of the roads in the area.
The road, it would affect the integrity of the road, not right now, but if we don't do the correction.
The soil is being eaten away
under the stones, under these big stones. But the answer always to this, the heavy duty equipment will come and retrain the river to come back to the center, and would have to take up a lot of, you notice the siltation under the bridge itself has risen. Yeah. So you'll have to dig up that silt. We have a couple of weeks work here, but like everything else, it will be done.
Electricity has been restored to all areas north of the island, which has been severely impacted by the passing of the trough system, which brought flooding and damage to homes, bridges and infrastructure. This was noted by Communications Officer at Vinlec, Tamara Job-Sprott, as she gave us an update on the restoration work Vinlec has carried out. Sprott said the company was able to achieve its objectives despite challenges to restore power in areas such as Sandy Bay, Oria and Fancy, and called on customers there to have their appliances checked by a certified electrician before use.
The job was quite challenging as you'd recognize. The infrastructure is badly damaged, and we were required to do some minor reconfigurations to the system to be able to have the power go all the way up to Fancy. We also had to physically pull a pole across that damaged area in Sandy Bay, so it took a little while to do, but we were able to successfully complete the job. We just want to call on persons to have a certified electrician have a look at their homes, because some homes are flooded, have a look at their appliances and ensure that all things are safe before they plow back in things like refrigerators and televisions and so on, because although the power is in the area, we want to ensure that persons are safe, and we want to encourage them to have certified electricians have a look at about their properties.
Sprott also commended the hard work and dedication of the staff of Windward, who she said sacrificed their time and effort to ensure that all of their customers have electricity supply.
We really want to commend our employees for an excellent job. They were required to work lengthy hours, but they were on the ball. They were quite committed to the cause. I think they were quite touched by what they saw in the areas, and they reported that to us. And they really did a very good job. So we want to commend them. Once again, thank them for their commitment to the organization as well as to the country.
Meanwhile, Communication Officer at Braxa, Roxton Marshall Millington said that the company has some success in clearing roads and repairing damaged infrastructure between yesterday and today, and that work will continue tomorrow with an emphasis on the Carroll area in Sandy Bay.
So today again, and they were able to clear quite a number of landslides on the leeward side. On the windward side, we were able to clear right up to Fancy. Our guys went out early this morning and we were able to clear right up to Fancy. I believe electricity was restored up in that area. For the Carroll Bridge that was washed out, we did a ramp on both sides which will accommodate four-wheel drive vehicles only. And we also stabilized a bypass road in Sandy Bay for persons getting out of that area. But as I said, we would only accommodate four-wheel drive at this time. Tomorrow we will be focusing on the bridge in Carroll that was washed out. We'll be focusing on that tomorrow. We also had a major landslide in Acres today, which we were able to clear this afternoon.
Though the Ministry of Education has given the all clear for students to return to school earlier today, many schools in the north will remain closed until further notice, as some of the schools are being used as shelters for displaced victims of the recent trough system. Parents and guardians of the Georgetown Government School, Dixon Methodist, Langley Park Government, Fancy Government, Owe Government, Sandy Bay Government and Turma Government schools are advised that they will remain closed until further notice. The Sandy Bay Secondary, Georgetown Secondary and Georgetown Technical Institute will also remain closed. Students and teachers of the P.T. Bordell Secondary School are asked to return to school tomorrow, December 2nd, 2016. The call for persons living with HIV/AIDS to take a stand to end the epidemic was made today as SVG joined other countries in observing World AIDS Day. At a rally held in capital Kingstown, HIV/AIDS activist Odinga Louis Warner appealed for others to help her make a difference. Nolisha Miller tells us more in this report.
A call has been made for persons living with HIV/AIDS to let their voices be heard. The call came from HIV activist Odinga Louis Warner, who appealed to persons living with the disease to refrain from hiding and living in withdrawal and start being a part of the solution to end the epidemic. The HIV/AIDS activist spoke at the World AIDS Day commemoration rally held earlier today under the theme, Take the Challenge, End AIDS. In her appeal for persons living with the disease to help make a difference, Louis Warner said that they should not be deprived of living a normal life, adding that they too have the same rights as everyone else.
We have the right to education. We have the right to love. We have the right to procreate. Why do we try to defeat all those purposes? I have a challenge. I am HIV positive and I rule for my cause. I am the voice that speaks out on behalf of the voiceless. But no longer should we have just one voice, because one voice cannot reach anywhere. If we stand together, make that stand. Don't be ashamed of what other people have to say, because at the end of the day, your life is yours.
Noting that nearly 2 million persons are living with HIV/AIDS in Latin America and the Caribbean, PAHO Country Representative Anique Wilson reiterated the challenge of intensifying the measures to eliminate the epidemic by 2020, which she said includes providing and promoting the use of condoms and lubricants, providing free testing in areas frequented by the most at-risk populations, and expanding access to pre- and post-exposure prophylaxis, which Wilson stated can help end AIDS within 15 years.
Other actions include testing and treating all HIV-positive pregnant women and their newborns to eliminate mother-to-child transmission of HIV, thus providing early treatment for all who need it. The other issue is to end stigma and discrimination and provide testing and treatment for other sexually transmitted infections that are associated with HIV, and also to increase funding to this area.
Reinforcing his dedication in the global fight against HIV/AIDS, Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Luke Brown, urged persons to join hands in the global initiative.
We dedicate ourselves to that final push that will end this scourge for all time and contribute to the liberation of our people in an important way. Onward march without delay is the call. And this is reflected in one of the themes which says, take the challenge, end AIDS. Let us simply take that challenge. Let us put our hands up, as I am putting my hand up now, for HIV prevention.
Meanwhile, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Simone Kieser Beach said the challenge to eradicate HIV/AIDS is gradually intensifying.
We all need access to the tools to protect us from HIV and to access antiretroviral medicines should we need them. The success we have achieved so far gives us hope for the future, but as we look ahead, we must remember not to be complacent. We cannot stop now. This is the time to move forward together to ensure that all children start their lives free from HIV, that young people and adults grow up and stay free from HIV, and that treatment becomes more accessible so that everyone stays AIDS-free.
Today's commemoration was also supported by the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Band. Nolisha Miller, The Evening News.
Noting that the government is very concerned about the issue of mental health, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said there is a need for a trained psychiatrist to provide accurate mental assessments for persons here. Commenting on recent inquiries on the nation's mental health cases, especially as they relate to criminal activities and the judicial system, Dr. Gonsalves added that while a psychiatrist is needed to create a better flow of judgment as it relates to the court, the presence of such personnel will not fully address the country's mental health issues.
There is no trained psychiatrist at the mental hospital. There's one on the books, and we have been trying to get one. And it has been difficult to recruit someone. Now we have psychologists and other and trained nurses in the area of mental health, some of them highly trained from a legal standpoint, because there are persons who come before the court who are required to get an assessment by a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, not a counselor, but an assessment by a psychiatrist. So there is that absence, and the need is to be filled.
The Prime Minister added that while the government continues to seek the services of trained psychiatrists, the Chief Medical Officer has advised that measures are being put in place to help aid in the process. He further urged all Vincentians to have a more open view on the issues of mental health.
They're seeking to recruit one, and I know that search has been going on, but that in the meantime it appears as though they are in the process of concluding, have not yet concluded yet, an arrangement with a retired psychiatrist from another country who could at least come in on an organized, though itinerant basis to address some of these assessments. We have to drop our stigma in relation to somebody who has a mental illness. That is what it is. It is an illness. And it's an illness
could be corrected, which could be treated like other illnesses.
The launch of the 2016 SVG-9 mornings, which was scheduled for this Sunday, 4th December at Heritage Square, has had to be postponed to next Sunday, 11th December. The SVG-9 Mornings Committee says it was forced to reschedule the launching due to the severe weather which has been affecting the country and would have hampered preparations, especially in some rural communities, and the delay in funding from government. The launch now on Sunday, 11th, will take the form of a lighted street parade with traditional lights and music, the lighting of Heritage Square, and the community Christmas concert. The 9 Mornings Festival is being celebrated under the theme, A Unique Vincentian Tradition 2016, the best ever.